Good day. Okay, hi folks. I was just having a rant, so I thought I just better. Why don't I just get this down on video, like? I was thinking about the dentists and stuff, and I had all this work done on my teeth when I was a child, and I didn't have any. I didn't seem to have anything wrong with my teeth. I never had toothache. I didn't notice any holes in my teeth at all. What happened was the dentist. Every time I'd have to go to the dentist every 6 months, right, with my family. We'd all go there, and the dentist would give me these X-rays, right? Put this stuff in my mouth, give me all these X-rays, run out of the room while he's giving me the X-rays, so he's not going to get irradiated like I am, and then come in, and then get me to go and sit outside, and then come back in 10 minutes later, and he'd say, "Oh, there's a little shadow." And he'd talk about these things called shadows in these X-rays, right? And then he'd say, "Oh, we just have to give you a little filling," and then it'd give me an injection to numb my mouth. And a little while later, it'd just drill and drill and drill a huge, great big hole in my teeth. Basically drill the whole thing out, and then fill it all up with mercury, amalgam. And I'm fucking so pissed off. So many of my teeth, all my big molars and that, are all filled with mercury. And I'm sure there was no real need for it. It's just I've been totally taken advantage of and poisoned. From what the rest, and having all my teeth ruined. Fucking, I'm furious about it. I'm still furious when I think about it. I think about going to the dentist because the dentists are asking me, "Oh, you need a checkup." It's I really don't want to go. I fucking hate dentists. They're fucking traitors. I hate them. They're evil. They are. As far as I'm concerned, they're fucking evil. They're totally evil. So anyway, that got me onto thinking about doctors, and oh dear, the medicine that we used to have, right? It's so fucking annoying. I would really like to open an old-fashioned ale-house where it's like a hospital. It's like a health farm. But instead of giving you green smoothies and fruit juice and stuff and vegetables and little bits of chicken breast and fillet of fish and muesli and whatever and clay baths and mud baths and massages, instead of that you would just drink beer, right? But it wouldn't be flavored with hops. It wouldn't be hops in there. It would be things like dandelion and burdock for your liver and kidneys. If you've got liver and kidneys problems, and bladder problems, you would go to the ale house. You either go there every day and have a few glasses of dandelion and burdock beer, or you would stay for a couple of weeks, like a health farm, and just every day you'd have 4 or 5 pints of dandelion and burdock beer, and after that you'd be fine. It would just, for the next 5 or 6 or 10 years, your liver and kidneys would be fine, right? And this system worked so well that the Pope had to stop it because they wanted more money. The Catholic Church are greedy, manipulative monsters, right? And they always have been. They always will be. So they had to stop our medical system, the ale-houses, 400 years ago, and replace it with allopathic medicine, where they use leeches and bloodletting and giving you poison like mercury and stuff to consume. And then it's a complete nightmare, and it's not, hasn't really changed. They've been changing it every few years, every couple of decades. They start changing it because the people say to them, "Look, this isn't working. All you're doing is killing people," And so they change it a little bit, but they don't change it for anything better. They just change it for something else that kills you. It's now it's radiation therapy for cancer and stuff, and antidepressants with fluoride in them for your mental health problems, and just a whole load of fucking shit. organ transplants, because they can't save your organs because they're poisoning them. And then so they just give you someone else's organs, you know, a dead person's organs. Fucking, it's just it's so horrific. Right, I just want to talk about some of the other remedies that they would have used. Right, I'm not 100% sure, but it just, like, having studied all this stuff and knowing about the history, and because there's no documented, like, stuff about what these people were actually doing. What they've done, they closed down all these alehouses all over Europe, and just all the knowledge was just lost. They destroyed all the knowledge. So they would have used, like, dandelion and burdock for kidney and liver problems and bladder problems. They would have used elderflower and hawthorn flower beer for cardiovascular health problems and health. So any heart problems and circulation problems. Also, all your mucous membranes. For the elderflower. Elderflower is like basically a cure-all. Hawthorn is basically fucking one of the best medicines for your cardiovascular. So if you make beer out of it, it's great. You know, you've got something that's really good for your cardiovascular system and all your mucous membranes. If you've got problems with your libido, then you're going to have, like, pine pollen. They make beer out of pine pollen. So it'd be really good for your libido, boost your testosterone. Also sort out a whole load of other health problems at the same time, right? If you've got mental health problems like depression or anxiety or, you know, schizophrenia and stuff like that, then you vervain, wood betony, and St. John's wort. Put them into a beer, make a beer out of them, flavour your beer with those herbs. It's going to cure mental health problems. I mean, just those four types of beer by themselves. There's loads of other ones. I'm giving you 4 examples that, like, you know, they would have used and would have been extremely effective. And the Pope, you know, the church didn't like it, because instead of going to, what they wanted to do is they wanted people to go to the church and pray for to be healed. You know, they didn't want people going, so they basically demonized the herbal system. That's where you hear all the stories of witch burnings. A lot of it was basically they were burning all the people that were running the alehouses, you know, and killing them all and calling them witches and stuff. Anyone that used herbs to heal people, they were working with the devil, because they were getting money that the church wasn't getting, and people was, you know, hardly, you know, weren't going to the church, so they had to ban all this effective natural medicine and replace it with, like, the church and beer that's got hops in it, which is all it does is help you relax and sleep, but doesn't do any. It's got basically no real proper health benefits at all. So yeah, I just wanted to I'm just getting all this stuff off my chest, because it's like, I mean, I can't even talk to people. There's nobody wants to hear about this stuff. It's like, it's fucking really depressing. Dear. I mean, and also, right, we've got a dumbed down school system. It's deliberately dumbed down. I estimate that your IQ, effectively, your working IQ is about 20 to 30 points lower than what it should be. At least 20 to 30 points from what it should be. That's basically for everyone who's been to like mainstream schools. You're so dumbed down that you're basically like a caveman when you should be like a, you know, an intellectual. Ah, dear. You know, it would be, I can see it, as far as I'm concerned, it would be really straightforward to educate people properly. But that's not enough. It's not just simple educating people, but just look at it like this, right? If you go to your doctor, do you want a doctor that's going to give you the right medicine, right? And know what he's talking about, give you the right kind of advice, the right medicine, right? And get you work, get you healthy as quickly as possible, right? Or would you rather have a doctor that doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't got a clue what he's doing, and is going to just almost certainly give you something that is essentially poisonous and going to like shorten your lifespan? Because that's what we've got. That's what the vast majority of doctors in the world at the moment, at least in the West and most everywhere else, that's what they're going to do. So, I mean, it seems like it's a funny question, because I actually believe there's quite a lot of people that would actually rather have a doctor that doesn't actually know what he's doing, just like we've got now. But to me, it seems pretty obvious that no one in their right mind would actually want a doctor who doesn't know what he's doing. Why not just go to your fucking, neighbour and ask them what to do? They're probably going to be better, no more than the doctor, or give you more better advice anyway. I got so stressed out just thinking about this. I was really having a rant for the last 20 minutes before I started making this video. I was just ranting to myself, walking around the street. I've just come in. It's just like I still can't stop ranting about it. I talk to myself because no one else wants to listen to me, so I have to talk to myself, or I have to make these fucking ridiculous videos. Oh dear. I mean, I suppose that is it, really. That's really what I want to say about that. Is pretty much it. I mean, what it is. I mean, you've got all the ones I just talked about, and then you've got like cannabis tincture or extract if you've got cancer or sleeping problems and stuff. You can basically very easily heal anyone of basically anything. It's really quite straightforward. So, but the thing is, the system we've got now, it's all about just keeping people ill and managing their illnesses so that they basically become cash cows, so that the medical establishment can make billions and trillions of pounds and dollars out of everyone and keep them all like dumbed down and ignorant, so they don't know that there are much better alternatives. And most people, they don't want to believe that the government is lying to them all the time, that the medical establishment are full of total monsters and vampires and parasites. They just don't want to believe it. It's too much for them. That's why they don't listen to me, people like me. That's why no one shares these videos. They know, even if you think it's a good idea what I'm saying, and it's real, I'm making sense, there's no point sharing these videos because nobody will listen to them. Nobody wants to hear the truth, or the vast majority of people, they don't want to hear the truth. They can't deal with it. They're pathetic, they're weak, they're cowardly, they're like sheep, like fucking herd animals. Well, if anyone's managed to stick with me this far, it's nice to see you, and thanks for listening, because I mean, it's nice to get this stuff off my chest, and I generally have been feeling better most of the time, but sometimes I just still get I've got irreversible trauma from the school system. It's irreversible. What can you do? Sometimes I just have to rant and get stuff off my chest, you know. Otherwise, it just builds up in my head, and it just like starts giving me like real, you know, fucking health problems, you know. So I have to get it out of my system. Hello, watcher. Thanks for the thumb up. Yeah, I was going to go on something. I know. I was going to go on from there. What was I going to carry on with? Can't really rewind it and just say, what was I just talking about? It wasn't you, Snowy. I was forgetting anyway. It's like letting off steam, you know. The pressure's going down a bit now. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's good to let off steam, you know, and get a bit of feedback. The thing about when I'm in a rant, it's like it just keeps coming out. I can just keep going on and on and on. It's a shame I didn't get the whole rant, because I had about another 20 minutes of like, you know, just constant machine fire, like rant going on for 20 minutes. It was quite fun. I thought, oh, I'll have to get that down. So yeah, doing the work, right? I have been feeling better, and I've had some really good progress lately, you know. No, you didn't mess it up, mate. Snowy. Stop putting yourself down. You're a good guy. No, so yeah, I had this thing the other day, right? I might have to stand up for this. Right, so I could feel all my energies in alignment, right? My base chakra, earth energies, my fire energies, my emotional energies here, my water energies in my heart chakra and that, and then the spirit energies, the air energies up here. And for the first time in my life, I just felt that they're all in alignment. All my energies are properly aligned. They're all in attunement and in an alignment. And I just feel like how I should feel. You know, I just feel like more or less for the first time I can ever, well, I may have had a few days like when I was a long time ago, when I was a teenager, maybe a few minutes or hours, maybe, I don't know, but not very long. But really, just lately, I can feel that all my energies are in tune and in alignment. And that's the first stage of like the work being properly accomplished. You know, so I really am starting to make progress, even though I'm still drinking and smoking. I feel great. You know, my heart problems seem to have mostly gone away. I'm not depressed. Most of the time, I'm still pretty cool, even though I do have the odd rant. But to me, getting it out is therapy. You know, so it's like I'm looking after myself. You know, I'm sort of keeping the ball rolling. I feel great most of the time. I feel really healthy. I've got loads of energy. You know, I'm happy. I feel content in my life. You know, I couldn't ask for more, really. Everything's going really well. Just so you know, right? So there might not be any obvious tangible results from doing the work, but there's lots of little things. And what I found with things like these herbs and supplements, I've been spending years going over them and experimenting with lots of them. It's cost quite a lot of money, you know, well, a few £1,000, you know, over the last 5 years, 4 or 5 years. Probably I'm spending about £1,000 a year. I'm hoping to get that down to sort of £400 or £500 a year. maybe a bit less than that ideally, so I can concentrate on the supplements that really work best. Because at the moment I'm taking stuff that that's tried and tested, and it really does work. It's not like I'm just like taking stuff and hoping that it's going to work. I've tried it. It's tried and tested. Like this morning, I had my chocolate drink with butter oil, and a little bit of coconut oil and MCT oil. But the extracts I use were Cistanch, spelt with a C. It's like this thing that grows in the desert, in the Gobi Desert. It's a sort of adaptogen, boosts gives you wood, it boosts your sex drive and that. It's really good for your digestive tract and your colon. It just gives you like energy and makes you feel grounded and that, right? So I had that, only a little bit, like a quarter of a teaspoon. Similar amount of horny goat weed, which boosts your testosterone, just gives you energy. A good half teaspoonful of black ant extract. That's also boosts your testosterone and gives you loads of energy and just makes you feel like really strong and powerful. What else did I have? Marrow root. That's like I think of marrow root as like a cross between dandelion and ginseng. It's like somewhere between dandelion and ginseng. It's good for your kidneys, I think, and your liver. And also it just helps make you feel more grounded and have more energy. What else? A bit of reishi extract. Reishi is just a good all-round healer and helps you utilize oxygen better, and it's anti-inflammatory. It just makes you feel like more healthy, more alive, more relaxed, and just generally healthier and feeling better. What else? Cordyceps, had a bit of cordyceps in there. That just gives you more energy. You can get more oxygen in your system. I'm sure there was one other thing I had as well. Sometimes I forget. Oh yeah, Siberian ginseng, another one, boosting your testosterone, just giving you more energy. So yeah, I had seven extracts in there, a couple of teaspoons of raw cacao powder, some sweeteners that haven't got hardly any carbs in. Blend it all up. I made a Tulsi tea. That's a holy basil tea to use as a sort of like tea for the hot liquid in there. And like a few teaspoons of whey powder, pastured goat and sheep whey powder for the protein. So you've got fat and protein and all these herbs. So I was having it about 7 o'clock in the morning, and I kind of been buzzing all day. I had the same thing yesterday. These things really do work. All of these things are tried and tested as far as I'm concerned. I've tried and tested them. They all work. I've tried them all individually. They all work individually. So then I put them all together. I've got quite a bit of other stuff that I can take as well to boost it all up even more, but it gets a bit hairy. It gets a bit like Jekyll and Hyde. You think it's like some secret formula that's just making you into like a monster. It really kind of starts feeling like that. If I have too much of it, it's like too many different things, and you can really like just feel so supercharged. You're like a different person. You're like your alternate ego. You feel like you've suddenly become Mr. Hyde, the monster. So yeah, that's one of the things that's been working as far as doing the work is concerned. Trying out all these different things. And there's loads more stuff, but it can get a bit like, if I talk too much about all the different herbs, you're not going to remember it. But, you can always go back and remember those ones that I just mentioned. They make such a powerful drink, And it doesn't even work out that expensive. The expense comes from building it all up and experimenting with it all. You've still got to, if you're going to use these things, you've got to go to the best places. You've got to get what I often do is I go on eBay and look at the ratings for these things. If they've got lots of sellers and everyone's saying they're a really good thing, then they're probably worth buying. If they haven't got any ratings and they haven't sold much, maybe you should I don't know. It depends. But it's part of the work. It's part of the work. It's part of you have to do your own research. I mean, these things might not work for everyone. They definitely seem to work for me, though. I couldn't imagine stopping using these things. If the internet went down and I couldn't buy them anymore, I'd be gutted. You know, I don't know what I would do. Yeah, Swanson. I use Swanson stuff. Like I got some Farmer GABA. I haven't actually tried it yet, but it's supposed to help me give up alcohol and help me sleep and stuff. You wouldn't believe how much stuff I've got. You know, where in my kitchen, all my food cupboards are full of supplements. There's hardly any food in there. It's all supplements and vitamins and herbs. That's my food. So let your food be your medicine. Let your medicine be your food. You know, in the Bible it says, "I've given you every herb yielding seed. For you, it shall be for food." You know, that's what it's like in the Garden of Eden. I don't know anyone. I hardly know anyone, right? In my real life, you know, in my like family and friends and stuff. Hardly anyone I know takes any sort of supplements, any herbs or anything. I've told them about them. Nobody's that interested. So I just stopped telling them. I think I'm just gonna the best thing to do is just don't talk to people about them. And I should just get on with my life. Carry on like getting younger. Because I'm sure I'm getting younger. I feel younger. And just ignore them, you know, leave them to carry on. Like my family go to the doctors. They're stupid. They go to the doctors and they get things like antibiotics when they got real minor problems like urinary tract infections and stuff. And they go and take antibiotics. And then they get loads of other health problems. Like my sister, like she's like 20 odd years younger than me, and she's taken so many antibiotics. She's overweight. She looks terrible. She's like, they went to Turkey. The rest of my family went to Turkey. My mum and my sister did anyway, and they had these massages, and the masseur was saying that my mum seems healthier than my sister. You know, my mum's like nearly 70. My sister's like 25. 26 or something. You know, and she's really unhealthy. She's had a problem with like cysts. She carries a mobile phone like in her pocket all the time, and she's got all these cysts in her womb, and they had to remove them surgically, and then it wouldn't stop bleeding for weeks and weeks. I haven't spoken to her for a few months now, but last time I saw her, she wasn't very well at all. But she won't take any notice of what I say. If I try to tell her what she should do, she just ignores me. They're stupid. She'll ask me for advice, and I give her some advice, and then she'll just completely ignore it. That's what my family do. They know I'm interested in all this stuff, and I virtually never get any serious illnesses. And if I do, I deal with them myself. I never go to the doctor for any sort of illnesses. I always deal with them myself, and I'm up until now, so touch wood, I've been pretty successful. Okay, so I'm sort of getting going now. Rather than making another video, I'll just carry on adding to this stuff because there's something else I was going to show you. I just got this. It was quite expensive. Styrian pumpkin seed oil. It's toasted pumpkin seed. It's quite dark. It's like a very dark green color. It's got a nutty, it smells like toasted pumpkin seeds. It's toasted pumpkin seed oil. It smells really nice, really nutty. And it goes off quite quick, so you've got to use it quite quickly. But I just pour it onto a little bit onto soups. Try and have it once or twice a day, just a little bit, like a teaspoonful, a level teaspoonful, not very much, just a little bit for flavouring. It's got zinc in there, and it's really good for your prostate. So people that are men that are approaching 50 or around 50, it's a really good thing to have. Once or twice a year, get a bottle. This was £4 for a bottle, but it's going to last me 2 months, and the beneficial effects are probably going to last me for like 6 months. So I'll maybe have 2 bottles a year, and I've already noticed it. As soon as I've started using it, I've noticed the benefits. What I've found with all these things, I might be taking, say, 30, 40, 50 supplements throughout the week, or throughout a month. Different ones, changing them every few days. I'll be taking different ones, and what I've noticed is that each one is giving you a little bit of a benefit, right? Now you might not notice each one all that much, but you might notice it just a little bit. But when you start taking 30 or 40 on a regular basis, then you really do notice it. You really can start making proper progress with them, But it takes time to build up this. So one of the aspects of the work and the progress is to experiment and find out about all this stuff so that you can start adding it into your life, your diet and your lifestyle. Dear. And it's work. It costs money. It takes time to build it up, but you're looking at a long-term approach to life so that you're going to feel better. You can get more stuff done. Your quality of life is going to go up. That's what counts. You're going to live longer. I've had to make sacrifices. I used to buy cannabis like all the time. I used to spend at least £20 a week on cannabis, right? Approximately £20 a week on cannabis for most of the last 30 odd years. Well, a significant part of the last 30 years anyway. And about when I started doing the work, not straight away when I started doing the work, but yeah, a little while after that, I stopped buying cannabis, right? When I started getting into these herbs, I stopped buying cannabis and saving my money and buying herbs instead. And I went 3.5 years without buying cannabis. So I saved a lot of money and invested it in all these different supplements. And it's really changed my life. I feel so much better for it. I still think cannabis is a great herb. It's just way too expensive because it's on the black market. You can get a lot of other things so much cheaper that are doing almost as much good. And it's good to have a wide variety of stuff. It's really good for your gut biome, to have all these different herbs coming in. And a lot of them have got so many good things that cannabis doesn't do. Like cannabis doesn't boost your testosterone, for example. It hasn't got zinc in it. Things like black ant have got loads of zinc. He Shao Wu's got loads of zinc. And zinc's a really important mineral that you need. Oh dear. Anyway, I'll start off with a rant. What was this video called? Ye Olde Aile-House Medicyne. Yeah, so yeah, to me, herbs. I'm so really pleased I've got into herbs, and I got on the internet. Actually, my mum helped me with this. I couldn't afford to go on the internet, and my mum did help me to start off with. Once she started me off, because she could afford to help me, you know. And she was partly responsible for a lot of the problems I've got. You know, your parents. You can always blame your parents for all your shit, can't you? Oh dear. Anyway, yeah. So she did help me with this to got me started. But you know, I paid for my own internet now. It was only for a couple of years she was paying for it, and as soon as I could afford to pay for it myself, I started paying for it for myself. I basically bullied her into it. I bullied her into paying, helping me get on the internet. I'm sorry, Snow. I thought you was intelligent. I'm too intelligent to do the lottery, right? The best lottery for me is getting herbs off the internet and supplements. That's the best lottery, because then I definitely have won. I'm a winner, you know, and I've only spent a few £1,000s, and I feel like I've won the jackpot already. Anyway, have a good day and have a nice time out. Okay, I think that's it now. I get carried away. I think I'm going to end it. Look, it's 37 minutes nearly. Okay, I better end it. I can't think of anything else I wanted to say really at the moment. It's just like I feel better for getting it off my chest. It's nice to have someone to talk to. There's more things I want to say, but it's like it's just like I need to make a separate video because I need to get it all start afresh when I start talking about the other things I want to say. So I'll come back another time. I'm still thinking about making better videos. When I can get around to it, I'm going to download some software so I can make fresh videos and then upload them like I used to do, because I'm not happy with this doing everything live. Although it's nice to get live feedback while I'm making a video. I'm not happy with the connection. I can't see what I'm uploading. So yeah, I'm still working on it, but thanks for watching anyway, and your patience, guys. See you around, and have a great time. Have a great strength. I've thought of this 5-day period. I'm going to call it a strength. So the first 3 days are the strength, and the last 2 days or the last day is the strength end. So it's the strength and the strengthened, rather than the weak and the weakened. I hate that idea. It's such a terrible load of shitty words. You know, weak, weekend, weakened. Makes you fucking, it's horrible. You know, pathetic. So this is a strength, right? These 5 days are a strength, and they're not days, they are chaoses. These 5 chaoses are a strength. And I've just begun a new strength. Was it on Thursday? What day is it today? Friday, is it? Oh, it's Wednesday, isn't it? When did I begin a new strength? Thick. I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. That's right. I just started a new strength on Tuesday. I'm in the second chaos of the strength. Got to change my language. Got to change the language, you know, to sort of make it work better. So after tomorrow, it will be the strength end. It just sounds much better, doesn't it? I can feel the benefits going into through my subconscious into my body. Just thinking like that, it just all seems to fit so much better. Okay then. Ciao.